jainworld.com 25 years of service to Jainism.
Welcome to this Daslakshan 2020. We are pleased to have 10 days lecture series on Daslakshan, which is part of our Paryushan Parva. The lectures will be delivered by Vinod Daryapurkar, who is creator of jainworld.com and a known scholar on Jainism. So over to Vinod Daryapurkar. Jai Jinendra. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all on this auspicious Daslakshan Parva 2020. Today, we will briefly discuss why Daslakshan and what is its significance in the modern day life. Mokshamargasya netaram bhetaram karma bhubhrutam jnataram vishwatatvanam vande tad gunalabdhaye vande tad gunalabdhaye. There was a big jungle and various animals were enjoying the sunshine. It was afternoon and they were jumping here and there and enjoying the very good sunshine. And it was a fall season, so a sunshine was a very welcome opportunity for the animals. A rabbit was taking a good nap under a tree. And that tree had a lot of leaves, a big size leaf. And this rabbit is taking a nap suddenly because it is a fall season and the leaves are falling. One big leaf fell on the rabbit. Rabbit suddenly got up and he is looking up to the sky, and another leaf, big leaf, is falling. The rabbit got frightened and started running away from the leaf. He thought the sky is falling. And as he is running with all his energies, a deer was nearby and he said, "Hey friend, why are you running?" And he said, "No time to explain. The sky is falling. Please run with me before the sky falls and crushes us." And so the deer started running along with him. And then a dog asked the same question, "Why you guys are running?" And they said, "Sky is falling. Please join us and start running fast." And then a donkey, same way, joined the group. And one by one, more and more animals joined. The horse joined the group. An elephant, which was passing by, joined the group. A giraffe, a fox, and so many other animals. And they are running fast and fast and fast to save themselves from the falling sky. And so there is a big noise and everybody jumping and shouting and run, run, run. A lion was coming in the opposite direction. And he saw this mad crowd running. So he gave a big roar and said, "Stop! All of you stop where you are." Because of the big roar, all the animal stopped. The lion asked one by one, "What's the reason? Why are you running?" He first asked the elephant. Elephant say, "I just heard others were running, so I am running." Giraffe, "Yeah, others were running and so I am running." Donkey, "Oh yeah, others were running and so I am running." One by one, all the animals said, "Yeah, we just heard someone shouting, 'The sky is falling,' and run, and so we are running." Finally, the rabbit. The rabbit said, "I am sorry, sir, but I was taking a nap under the tree and a big leaf fell on me. And then another was falling down. So I thought the sky is falling, and so I started running." In our life, similar is the situation. We are running and running and running with a fast speed, a faster speed, just because others are running. Your brother is running, your friends are running, your relatives are running, your boss is running, your colleagues are running, your neighbors are running, people around you are running. And you have joined the mad race. And so you have also started running. And because there is a competition, we are running faster and faster and faster. And so, you are getting so much of stress, you are getting so much of strain, you are getting so much of inferiority complex because you are behind. You are getting a fear factor because there is uncertainty whether you will win or not. And so everybody is running without knowing how long they have to run, in what direction they have to run, when they are going to stop, what they are running for, what they want to achieve by running. And so, Daslakshan is a very good time to give a roar like a lion and say, "Stop where you are." Do the introspection. Find out why you are running, how long you want to run, what you want to achieve by running. Have you achieved that by running for so long? All such questions need to be asked, and no time better than the Daslakshan Parva. Because in these 10 days of Daslakshan, you are going to be with yourself, nobody else. Because this is a introspection of yourself. And that's why entire Daslakshan is devoted to you. There is no idol worship. There is no murti puja involved that during 10 days this is the main idol we are going to worship. No. It is all about your own qualities. It is all about your own attributes. So, this 10 days, you will be focusing on yourself, your qualities, your attributes, what you are, what you want to be, what you want to achieve. And that's why this is very, very unique. No other religion has this type of festival, which is totally focused on yourself, which is giving you a total space to analyze about you. And very important part of this, the second point is that this is all about quality. You are focusing on your qualities, your inner qualities. And you are in charge. No one is controlling. You are analyzing, you are deciding, you are finding out what qualities and what level those qualities are, whether they are bad, they are good, how good they are. Jainism has always focused on quality. And that's why we have 14 Gunasthana. Gunasthana, which is a qualitative level of yourself. Self-purification, self-transformation, that is the goal. And it gives you the opportunity to enhance those qualities. And that's why Jainism is focused on quality and not quantity. This is because of the deeper understanding that when you run after the quantities, you are never going to win. Let's see by example. A man is running and his goal is to have $1 million. So let us say he is running on the road which takes you to the $1 million. He started running and he found that there are thousands and thousands of people ahead of him who are also running for $1 million goal. And only few will get $1 million. So he has to run faster and faster to overtake the remaining people. And so he's running month after month, after year, and he reaches the 1 million point. Now there is a board, turn right for 10 million. And so he turns right. He says, now 1 million is not enough for him. His wants and requirements have increased. So he definitely wants to have 10 million. So he turns right on the road of 10 million. And he thought there will be few people, but he finds that is also overcrowded. There are hundreds and hundreds of people ahead of him. And so he is running after the crowd and he is running faster and faster to catch up with them and still faster to go ahead of them. In doing all this, he is spending much more time in working. He is spending much more time away from the family. His health is getting affected. He is getting much more stress. He is getting burnt out. But he has to keep running. And finally he reaches a 10 million goal. And then there is another board which says 100 million. Turn right for 100 million. And now 10 million is not enough for him. So he turns to the right and start running. And to his surprise, there are again thousands and thousands of people ahead of him. So he has to repeat the same thing. Run faster, spend more time, spend more energy. And in the process, he will lose his health, he will lose his peace of mind, he will lose tranquility. And more uncertainty now, more fear factor, more challenges on the road. And this is what keeps happening again and again and again. We are sort of in a quantity game. There will be somebody who has much more than what we have achieved. Even Sikandar, the great Sikandar, never found that he is winning. He still wanted more. So in the game of quantity, we are not going to win. That is for certain. But if you are going after the quality, yes, because there is no competition. When you are in the race for quality, there is no competition. In fact, they will complement each other. And there is no mad rush because there is no one winner. And quality race, everybody wins without competition. And that's why quality is very, very important in Jainism. And in this Daslakshan or any Daslakshan, we are glad that we are focused on quality. What are the 10 qualities we'll be focusing on? We'll see that in a minute. But focusing on quality is very, very important. And because it is your own qualities and you are not governed by anybody else, so you have the full responsibility and at the same time full freedom. So you can shape your life the way you want it when you are focused on quality. There was an old woman, very old, 98, 99, and she was staying alone. Her husband died long back. She had a son who also died long back. And she's only alone, living in a small house. The house which does not have proper lighting, there is a lot of darkness inside the house. And one day she was stitching her cloth. And the needle fell down. So her hands are trembling. She is old, so her hands are trembling. Her eyesight is not so good, so she cannot see clearly. But still, she has to search, and so is searching the needle near the kitchen area where it fell down. But there is not much light there. So she's searching for a long time. A neighbor comes, pops in, and asks her, "What you are doing?" Oh, he said, "I lost my needle and I am searching that." The young boy says, "Oh, there is a darkness and you will not find the needle in the darkness. You need to search in the light." And he went away, and the old woman thought, "Yeah, he is right. I need to search in the light." So she goes out of the house, there is enough light, and she starts searching the needle. And she is searching the needle here, there. And another neighbor comes and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" Or she says, "I'm searching for the needle." And he says, "Where you lost the needle?" Oh, she says, I lost it near kitchen area inside the house. But because there is no light there, and this boy said that you need to search in the light, so I am searching here outside. And this is what happens to us many, many times. We, let us say, want to do the purification process, a process of self-purification. We are talking about our inner qualities. And so we should be doing the purification where the inner qualities are, which is in our Unter-Atma. But many a times we keep searching it outside, in the outer. It's like searching a needle outside the house when it is lost near the kitchen, simply because there is a darkness. So what is the right way? That the old woman should bring a lamp and get the area near the kitchen lighted and then search the needle there. And this is what exactly we have to do. We have to go in the inner Unter-Atma and then start the purification process. So Bhagwan Mahavir gave a very simple sutra, a simple formula. He said, transcended from Bahir-Atma to Unter-Atma and focus, meditate on Paramatma. So first let us quickly see what is Bahir-Atma, Unter-Atma and Paramatma. So basically, when your Chetan Shakti or your Atma is associated with the materialistic things, your house, your cars, your clothes, your children, your wife, your bank balance, your job, your boss, your prestige, your name, all those things, including your body. Your body also is external to you. Even though you reside in the body by itself is a Pudgal, so it is not you. So this manifestation of the Atma, Bhagwan Mahavir calls as a Bahir-Atma. Means you have really forgotten about your inner self and you are totally 24/7 associated with the outer worldly things. So this is a Bahir-Atma. It is this manifestation of the same Atma. These are three different manifestations. And Unter-Atma is when you detach yourself from all the outer things and come back to your inner. Then you are a Unter-Atma. And our ultimate goal, of course, is to become Aryanta or a Siddha. So first Aryanta and then Siddha. And that is what is a Paramatma. So transcendent, that is move away from Bahir-Atma, get into Unter-Atma and meditate upon Paramatma. That is the simple purification process Bhagwan Mahavir has told us. And I think every time we talk about purification, we need to keep this in mind, that that process is going to be in the inner and not in the outer. So coming out of Bahir-Atma, getting linked to Unter-Atma or get into the Unter-Atma and then meditate on Paramatma. Or rather, a group of friends, they were discussing, and one said that now the Daslakshan is coming, and so I am going to do the fasting. And another friend say, yeah, but I am focusing more on the pujas. I'm going to do a lot of pujas this time. And the third friend say, yes, but I am going to focus more on chanting. Oh, 10 malas every day or something is my goal. And the other said, yeah, but I am going to focus on scripture reading. And I have planned to read so and so scripture. And they were discussing all this. And another friend was sitting quiet. And they asked him, hey, what is your opinion? So he said, no, guys, see what you are all said. This is in the outer. And the purification process is in the inner. So we need to spend some time in the inner also. So we need to make a balancing between the two, that we do certain things in the outer, which will help us to get into the inner, and then we go in the inner and do some purification process there. Because we are going to purify our inner qualities, and so that's why we have to go in the inner world. And so we need to keep a sort of balance between the two. And the one more person who was sitting quiet, he said, yeah. And also I think we should keep track of how much we are spending our time and energy in the outer and how much time and energy we are spending in the inner. So that way we will know how we are progressing. One fellow was sitting quiet so far. He said, yeah, but I have a problem. People talk about going to inner and leave the outer, but I really don't know how it is to be done. Is it like that I open a door and go in and then close the door, or how it is to be done? Because if I don't know how to go into the inner, then the whole exercise is at a standstill. And that is a good question. And if it has not come to your mind, I think this is the time to ask that question. And there is a very time-tested techniques to do that. And this is known as a Kayotsarga, a very beautiful technique used for thousands and thousands and thousands of years by hundreds of thousands of people, and time tested. So Kayotsarga basically we'll see in short just the glimpse of it, and we'll be talking about Kayotsarga in very great detail later on in some other lecture. So Kayotsarga basically is Manogupti, Vachan-gupti and Kaya-gupti. These are the three elements of Kayotsarga. So we need to use these techniques first to get disconnected from our body. The word Gupti is very beautiful. The Gupti means to make it disappear. So in the first step, So there is a magician who has come and he does a trick and your body has disappeared. What really it means is that you get disconnected with your body. And once you get disconnected with your body, we really get disconnected with the outer in a big way. Because then your name, your fame, your bank balances, your house, your car, your children, your relatives, your reputation, everything is linked to your body. And once you get disconnected with that, you are disconnected with major part of the outer. So that is, and then the magician comes and he makes your thoughts disappear. So your thinking process, which is basically linked to your memory. You think about either what you have achieved or based on what you know, you think what you want in the future. So, the second magical trick is to get disconnected with the thinking process. We are connected. We are carrying a big burden of the past and we are carrying a big burden of the future also. And we need to get rid of that. A queen was going in her chariot in a golden horse cart. She was going in her golden horse cart. And she saw an old man walking, carrying a big bundle on his head. And it was too much weight for his head to carry. And so he was very tired. Very sad. But he has to walk, so he is walking. So Queen stopped her golden horse cart, chariot, and asked him to come and sit there. So this man got into there, he sat, and he is still carrying his bundle on his head. So Queen said, be comfortable and you can remove that and keep it aside. When you will get down, you can carry that with you. But that man refused to take the bundle off his head. And Queen said, what that bundle has? So he said, this big bundle has two smaller bundles into it. One is my past. And that is very heavy, but I cannot leave it. And Queen said, what is the other bundle? And he said, the other bundle is my future. What I have imagined my life will be. How I want my life to be. So my kalpana vilas, my imagination. And this is what happens to all of us. We carry those two big bundles on our head. One of the past, which is dead, which is gone, and no matter what we want to do, no matter how powerful we are, no matter how much money we want to spend, we cannot change the past. Absolutely no one can change. And another is future. Future which has not yet come. We don't know how it will be. We just speculate. A lot of people, nobody would have anticipated the COVID-19 will come. and they would have speculated their future in a much different way than what is happening. And so, Vachana Gupti is extremely important. It gets rid of your past and it gets rid of your future. Those two bundles are disconnected from you. And last is the Manogupti, that is, you transcended your mind. We know mind is the root cause of many of our problems. And many people talk about mind control. But Jainism has a deeper wisdom. It said transcended the mind. Mind control is not possible because by very nature of the mind. So the best way is to transcend that, bypass, go beyond. Like a husband and wife fighting. So there are some couples who keep fighting all the time. Wife wants to control the husband and husband wants to control the wife, and every time they find the fault with other and keep quarreling. So instead of quarreling, if they would have sat together and planned out, that activity could have been finished in 1/10 of the time. But instead they keep quarreling and fighting. So mind control is like a husband-wife fighting all the time. So you cannot win. So best way is to transcend the mind. You go beyond the mind, and so this is the way, this is the technique we have to use. And we'll talk about this in greater detail as we go in the future lectures. We'll be talking great detail on that. But so Kayat Sarga is the way. You can sort of go from outer to inner. Kayat Sarga is very integral part of Jainism, integral part of purification process, integral part of self-transformation, integral part of enhancing your qualities. So enhancing your skills of Kayat Sarga will help you in a big way, so that you learn the technique to transition from outer to inner very, very smoothly, without any tension, without any stress, without any apprehensions. So we'll talk about that later on in great detail. And so now let us see what are the 10 qualities we are talking about so far. So 10 attributes you say, or 10 qualities you say, or you can say the 10 elements, or whatever name you want to call. So Uttam Kshama, and there is a word Uttam related to that. So supreme forgiveness. So for each of the 10 there is Uttam, and in the English there is a supreme. So important to know why the Uttam is there or the supreme is attached to that, because each quality could be on the scale of 1 to 100. When you buy a gold, it could be 24 carats, it could be 20 carats, 18 carats, 14 carats, whatever. So when you want to buy anything, you say, make sure it is 24 carats. I'm buying a gold biscuit or gold coin, so I tell the jeweler that please make sure it is 24 carat. So Uttam is like a 24 carat gold. And your Kshama quality could be at 1 carat gold or 5 carat gold, and we need to improve and purify and bring it to the 24 carat. So that's why the Uttam, word Uttam, supreme forgiveness. Mardhav is modesty, Arjav, straightforwardness, then purity, self-restraint, austerity, renunciation, non-possessiveness, celibacy. So basically, Uttam, Kshama, Mardhav, Arjav, Saucha, Satya, Sanyam, Tapatyaga, Akinchanya, and Brahmacharya. So these are the 10 qualities we are going to sort of focus on during these 10 days. And again, guys, just to remind and just to remember that this is all about you. This is all about your being, your inner personality. This is all about your own qualities. And this is all about self-introspection, self-purification, and self-transformation. That you start improving on quality of each one of that. Many times there is a confusion because there is a word 10, Daslakshan, 10 facets or 10 attributes or 10 qualities. And so people think there are 10 purification processes, Dasha Dharma. So there are 10 different independent identities which are to be purified, and then there is a separate process for that, each one. And it is important to understand whether it is that way or in a different way. So, we are talking about Dasalakshan, we are talking about 10 facets, but the process is one. Because it is your purification, purification of yourself, your inner. And these are, attributes of your inner. So let us understand how the flower blossoms. So the sun is rising and there is a bud, flower bud is there. And as the sun is rising, the blood starts opening. Slowly, slowly, the buds will open and we get a flower after some time. So this is the flowering process or blossoming process. The buds are opening simultaneously. The sun is working on all the 10 petals. So let us say there is a flower of 10 petals. So all the 10 petals are opening simultaneously. It is not that the one petal will completely open. Once that is done, the second will open, and then the third will open, and the fourth. No. It's simultaneous. It is the process of flowering. So Dasalakshan is basically the 10 petals of your inner blossoming. 10 petals of your inner blossoming. That is what the Dasalakshan is all about. So it is one process of your own blossoming, and your inner flower has 10 petals. It is very important to know this, because otherwise, I knew some friends who said, first I will master Uttam Kshama, forgiveness, and then I go to the next, and then I go to the third. So by the time he will go to the 10th, he has to take the next birth. So that is not the process. The process of purification is happening simultaneously on all the 10 qualities or attributes or elements or whatever you want to call it. So this is very important to know that. And these friends who we were discussing, so one of them asked a question. Hey guys, I do this purification and this and that. Will it help me solving my day-to-day problems? Will it help me in solving my day-to-day problems? Guys, this is $1 million question. And if that question has not raised in your mind, you need to ask that question now. Will this 10 days inner purification process, blossoming of my inner self, my inner flowering, 10 petal flower, will it help in solving my day-to-day problem? And the answer is yes. Definitely, it will solve your many of the day-to-day problem. It will reduce their intensity. You will get the skills to handle those problems much more efficiently, much more effectively. And so your day-to-day life will be much, much better. There will be greater confidence in you rather than the fear factor or inferiority complex or uncertainty. There will be much greater peace of mind. There will be tranquility. There will be bliss. There will be festivity. There will be celebration in your life. Yes, friends, definitely. The negative things you will get control over, and all that energy which is going to the negative, you will be able to change it into the positive. So the anger, if it is there, will get converted into love and friendship and compassion. And the greed will get converted into caring and sharing and giving. So all the negatives will be converted into the positive. And if that is not happening, you must check whether it is happening or not. And if that is not happening, you are doing something wrong somewhere. You need to immediately take corrective action. Otherwise, whole efforts will be wasted. And we always talk about optimum utilization. In any project we do in the office or you have a business, we always talk about optimum utilization of resources, the time and the energy and the money. And here we need to always talk about it. How do I utilize these resources? That is the time I am spending 10 days, the energy I am spending. How I utilize it to the optimum. And so it is important to ask this question, whether it helps in my day-to-day life. And the answer is yes, 100% yes. And all your negative energies, you will get the skills willpower to change that into the positive. And so this is very, very important. And we'll learn about this in greater detail. And we are going to talk about this in greater detail as to how. Because, friends, the energy is same. And that is becoming negative. So you need skills to convert that negative into the positive. And there are tools and techniques to do it. It will not just happen out of the blue. So we'll be talking about those tools and techniques later on in one of the lectures as to how we convert negative into the positive. So just to summarize, friends, Daslakshan Parva is basically the inner flowering of our 10-petal flower. It is one process. It's going to happen in your inner. So you have to find and learn the skills of transcendenting from outer, that is the Bahir-Atma, to the Unter-Atma, what Mahavira call as Unter-Atma, to the inner. Because all the purification is going to happen in the inner. And so, if you are not able to go into the inner, you will be locked out of the whole process. And then you will be busy doing things in the outer. So things in the outer are important. All Kriya Kands are important. Fasting is important. Puja is important. Chanting is important. Scripture reading is important. Donating, dana is important. But we must remember that those activities should help us to go to our inner, should work as a bridge for us to cross and go to the inner, because the purification is going to happen inner. So you need to blend it in a very nicely and then monitor how much efforts you are putting in the outer, how much efforts you are putting in the inner, and what is the progress of purity. That also need to be assessed. All 10 attributes, you need to note down what it is at the beginning and what it is at the end. So if they were, let us say, 5 carat level and they are still 5, then something has gone wrong. Your efforts have not worked. But if they have become 6 or 5.5, yes, that is good improvement. And for some people it could be from 5 to 10. And so, learning the skill, which is the Kayat Sarga, and then all other things, we'll be seeing in great detail. So again, friends, thank you for your attention, and I hope that you get some thinking to be done today so that you can plan your remaining days for the optimum utilization. Om Arham.
Jainworld.com 25 years of service to Jainism.